Welcome to another episode of From the Logo Podcast. We got ZZ and Hayes today in the building. Gifted should be joining us at some point today. And I know we got topics playing today, ZZ, but Kevin Durant immediately came in. Team USA is playing right now, bro. And there's 24 seconds left in this game. Team USA got this one. It's 84-107 right now. Did you get a chance to watch any of this game before we started?
I'm watching it right now. I got the TV right here still. 20 seconds left in the fourth, and Kevin Durant came in off the bench and mollywhopped Serbia's ass, bro. I'm not even on cap. Like, bro, you couldn't ask for a better, like, more perfect start after missing some time. Starting off, I think 8 for 8 from the field, and I mean not missing from downtown at all, hitting shots in people's mouths and shit. Like, this is crazy. Kevin Durant, like I told you beforehand a few episodes ago, and you, Hayes, the last episode we did together. You know, everybody's talking about how good this Team USA is, and comparing them to past teams and shit. I said, just wait and pump your brakes. Let's wait till we get Kevin Durant to really see how lethal this team can be. And proof is in the pudding right now.
And it's been at 21 in the first half, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But one thing we also got to talk about in this is the starting Joel Embiid for Team USA experiment over? Because it looked bad to start Joel.
I mean, they pulled him very quick.
Came in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they pulled him very quick, immediately put 80 in. And, I think that Joel Embiid starting experiment may need to stop.
Yeah, not going to lie. The only reason why I had a thought as to why they were even doing it was because I was like, maybe Steve Kerr's looking at this from just a simple lineup perspective, where he's like, you know what? I think we have the most success when we have, Bam and AD in the front court, coming off the bench alongside D White, alongside, and right in this case, alongside Kevin Durant too. And what you have in that front court is just a dangerous defensive lineup. Now, that was the only reason why I thought Steve Kerr was just being like, you know what? Just let him play. The fact that they took him out that early in this game, though, right here, I mean, he pick up like 1 or 2 fouls like in the first 3 minutes, and it's like, damn. So
they dropped him quick, ZZ. They dropped him quick.
Yeah. And you want to know something else? We need to talk about where the hell was Tatum at, and Tyrese. Where the hell was they at? Now, mind you, I didn't realize that they weren't in the game or hadn't gotten any run until like the start of the fourth quarter. I was like, yo, because Steve Kerr sitting there said, all right, look, we got our standard starting lineup. The fact Devin Booker, shout out Devin Booker, hit 2 back-to-back threes in the first quarter from LeBron nonetheless. So when LeBron got that trust in you, you better knock that shit down. He did that. Now, me and Hayes, we were talking last Sunday, and I was like, who comes out of the starting lineup when KD gets back? Steve Kerr said, let me just ease him in. And they said, you know what? Tatum, you good. Tyrese, you straight. If Kevin Durant's coming out 5 of 5 from 3, y'all sit y'all ass down and enjoy the show. That's what he said. Y'all good. So
I'm going to be honest with you, man. I have a disrespectful thing that I got to say right now. And it's not my fault, right?
Go ahead.
It is crazy how Steve Kerr was like, I'd rather play Derek White than Jason Tatum.
Hey, you know what, though? But why is that, Gifted? Why is that? Why do you think that is?
Because he's a small guard.
Exactly. He's a small guard who can play his role and ain't gonna step on no toes. Look, I told Hayes last Sunday, I have not seen, chat, help me out. Have y'all seen Jason Tatum hit a 3 so far in any of the exhibition games?
That's a good question. I don't think we have.
I don't think we've seen Tatum hit a 3 yet.
No, he did not.
But we see him taking them shits. Now, when he duck his shoulder and drive straight to the cup, he's had a lot of success there, which made me say, oh, okay, he's doing his thing. Like, he won a championship. Now he's done settling for 3. No, because the biggest strength that he's had in the first 5 games was ducking that shoulder, driving to the cup, and even managing to get some and ones from time to time. But settling on them step back threes is still not working. It didn't work in the finals. It didn't work in the playoffs. Like, damn, Tatum, please. Like,
if the step threes ain't working for you, my boy, stop them. 20 Hardaway says reports were saying that there was a bug going around some of the players, so maybe Tatum and Hallie were sick.
Okay.
If that's the case,
okay. You know what? That makes sense.
That would make sense. And bugs going around during the Olympics, man, that shit always sucks because it just spreads through all the players there. Anything left on Team USA? Because I do want to talk a little bit about South Sudan, not only the drama around them, but the fact that they got their Olympic win today, making history as well.
Mm-hmm. So let me, I'm going to throw this question to y'all because I saw a comment and it made me think that somebody said something like, I feel like we're crowning this team. We crown this team as the greatest Olympic team ever a little bit too early. And the only reason that they said that was based off of exhibition play and the fact that South Sudan almost got one on these niggas. But for me, I sat back and I started just doing a little bit of research on that 92 team. For example, I love the Dream Team documentary. I watched that shit a billion times, right? So I know the significance of what it took for and what the league looked like at that time for them to even put together that roster. Mind you, like, look at Joel Embiid on this team as our starting five. Hakeem Olajuwon could have played for Team USA in 92. He just wasn't better than, David Robinson or Patrick Ewing at that time. That's why he played 96. But when I look and I'm sitting here saying, okay, the 92 team had a point differential of like 40. So they were spanking teams north, west, east, and south. This team had a point differential in that first 5 exhibitions of about maybe less than 10. There were a lot of games that they escaped at the end because LeBron James put the country on his back, for the 22nd year in a row. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, is this really the best? Because a question popped into my head. Is this even the best team that we could have had? Like, think about the guys that aren't on this team, right?
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown is a prime example of that. Right? Him and Tatum should be on this team, but they're not. Shea, Luka, right? If Joel can make it over here, then shit, Shea and them boys can come over here too. This isn't even the best. We may be top heavy in terms of LeBron, KD, and Steph, and that seals the deal. Young guys like Anthony Edwards, of course, Anthony Davis and Bam doing their thing. But to me, I think we could have had an even better team. It's just about the execution from this point on. And it looks like they're starting to figure it out. They won this game by like 21. So hopefully that continues. But is it a little bit too early? Should we just wait till they hopefully get the goal before we start comparing them to,
I think this is a team that you have to wait to see their path to the goal before we can really have that conversation personally, because while it's a extremely talented team, like you said, very top heavy, I just don't know if this team has the firepower for me that I've seen so far to be able to put them with some of those all-time great teams. But they're still a very talented team that should win the gold medal. But that disappointment has been there through the exhibitions, through everything for them. Gifted, how you feeling, brother?
Man, I just find it so crazy that Kevin Durant comes back and this team looks dominant, but yet KD had 21 points, right? He did not miss a single shot in the first half. It was a 5-point deficit. That's what's crazy. And I think that'll clean up with more time. I just think that, like, the overall rotations are still in question. I really want to see the 4, 5, 6, and 7 lineups. What are those, you ask? Steph Curry, number 4. Anthony Edwards, number 5. Right? LeBron James, number 6. Kevin Durant, number 7. Right? We need to see those lineups a bit more. I think on paper you could say it, but again, I'm with Hayes, man. This is a different game. It's all about execution and how you master that overall talent. I think they can. I really said for weeks KD has to be the missing piece, and I think today we saw that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it was a completely different game momentum, everything once KD came in the game. Given I don't think you were on when I threw this to ZZ, but like we also saw Joel Embiid yank very early, AD come in, be more effective. Are you going to continue starting Joel Embiid if you were the coach, or do you kind of let Joel Embiid fill his way out of it and maybe start playing better here in the next couple of games?
I really don't know how to answer this question anymore because he got pulled extremely quick, but I feel like a part of why the start was so bad is Team USA was really careless with the ball. Like, there were so many times where Booker, LeBron, or even Joel Embiid would just have plays where it's like, why are you turning that ball over? Like, there's no reason why they score and we can't inbound the ball. I feel like that's just simple things that need to really, find itself out. But man, every time I see Joel Embiid catch the ball and try to face up from the 3-point line and they're packing the paint, it just doesn't feel like a realistic, move to still have him there. The problem though is AD, as quiet as kept, hasn't been great offensively, and more than anything, even though he's been very, very, very good defensively, he's picking up fouls pretty quickly too. I kind of think they want to try to conserve that, and if they can't rely on Joel to be that, I think that's a problem. I kind of want to see what happens if you take out either Booker or Drew Holiday and replace them with KD, and then see how good he'll be. Because at that point, you have a bunch of guys who can really shoot the ball next to him.
That's a good point. It's a good point as well as AD not scoring effectively. Better defensively, but for example, AD and Joel Embiid had more combined personal fouls than field goals made today.
Damn.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
They had 6 combined fouls, 5 combined field goals. That's crazy. You need better play overall. So
yeah, and that's the thing too. Like I said earlier, like me trying to wrap my head around what Steve Kerr might be thinking in terms of just lineup management. 20 just said Embiid makes more sense with the second unit. They need an offensive hub in the half court, and the starters need defense. Now I get that point, I do, but this is what I was throwing. This was what I threw to Hayes last Sunday, which was before Kevin Durant even stepped on the basketball court, because that is why I said I feel like we're being a little bit too harsh with Joel, because we don't even know if this is the set in stone starting lineup because Kevin Durant's not here. Now, when you have Kevin Durant with this team, from what I saw in this game, right? For example, in the first quarter, they kept the same starting lineup: Drew, Steph, LeBron, Booker, and Joel, right? So looking at that lineup in the sets that they're running or what they're trying to get, they were trying to throw the ball down to Joel. That had limited success. And then a lot of times what you saw in exhibition play was just them falling back on the fact of, oh, look who we have, LeBron James. Take over, right? So when you have that, it becomes a situation where you're playing desperation basketball in terms of just on the offensive side of things, and it can become a little problematic. Now, what I liked about the team's second unit option is that, for example, I think it was in that South Sudan game, or at least the last game of exhibition, going in, I think it was a South Sudan game. They were down, I think, 14 or 16 at halftime. Steve Kerr does not start the second half with the starters. He starts with that second unit, right? D. White, Tatum, Ant, Bam, and AD. That lineup went nuclear for them and got them back into the game. But it started on the defensive end with Anthony Edwards picking up guys full court, right? Guys trying to get to the cup, and Anthony Davis utilizing the fact that there is no defensive 3-second, right? Bam being there playing help side, what have you. Anthony Edwards today, literally, and Derek White both had 2 chase down blocks in a quarter apart. And I'm sitting here saying, okay, this is what Steve Kerr is looking at when he says second unit go, because they have that, like you could say the starters may have tried to pride themselves on defense, but that second unit really prides themselves on defense, and defense first. So if you're Steve Kerr, now that you have Kevin Durant back, the question that you have is, how does that alter your starting lineup? And if it does, I told Hayes last week, a hypothetical lineup would probably be, I guess, Drew Holiday, Steph, LeBron, and KD can flip-flop between 3 and 4, and then you can keep Joel there. LeBron as a stretch forward is not a bad option at all, as we've seen. And Kevin Durant as a stretch forward is not a bad option at all, as we've seen today. So it's just a matter of Steve Kerr really, to me, understanding what he has, for his own personal, display and what he can throw out there on the court, and then just micromanaging it. If Joel Embiid, for example, the play that he fouled Nikola Jokic, I looked at Steve Kerr. I was like, he looking right at the bench. he said, all right. Well, if Jokic is making light work of you, shit, what do we do? We can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
what do we do? So with Kevin Durant being back, that throws a Swiss Army knife in this entire team. So I'm interested to see what Steve Kerr does, going forward. But I think we should pump the brakes a tad bit on Joel. It's not like he's like a liability. He has liability moments. Believe me, I haven't seen that man try to make a behind the back pass to the wing and it went in the front row. And I was like, the fuck are you doing? But at the same time, I'm like, I'm gonna give him some grace because a couple plays later, he made up for it with the defensive block, right? So he said that Joel Embiid said himself, if he can be that interior presence, that's all the fulfillment that he needs to in terms of filling a role. That's all he needs to do, and that's all he will do. And it's worked in moments. So it's just now it's a matter of Kevin Durant being back and what Steve Kerr does going forward.
I think too with Joel Embiid, like it's Joel Embiid should defensively be able to make such a big difference for this team. Like you said, we haven't necessarily seen it as consistent as what we want to, but like his switchability defensively, his ability to protect the rim, the fact of taking advantage of the international rule where the ball is live as soon as he touches the rim. These are all things that should play into the strengths of Joel Embiid. We just haven't seen it consistently enough yet, but I mean, sometimes it takes a couple of games for everybody, as Gifted said earlier, to kind of figure out their rotations, their place on a team like this with as many stars as what they have. And we've seen slow starts in the Olympics before, and players end up having a pretty strong Olympics when it's all said and done with it. So, yeah, I mean, I get it, not giving up on Joel Embiid quite yet, but I tell you what, he can't have too many more starts like he had tonight.
It's kind of hard to watch at times because it's like he's so big that his biggest skill is in mobility. So it's like when he's off, it looks really bad. Sometimes it's not as bad as what it looks, but man, it looks rough out there sometimes. So I understand people thinking they shouldn't have a big leash, but again, I just want to see Joel Embiid with Steph Curry and KD. I feel like those lineup spacing with Steph and KD are going to make a lot of teams overreact, and that'll make everybody look better.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Let's move on from Team USA. Now, we haven't gotten to have an episode since the whole South Sudan Gilbert Arenas thing. I want to talk a little bit about that, but I more so want to focus on South Sudan as the newest country in the world getting their first Olympic victory today. But just a little bit to touch on it. How'd you guys feel about the initial comments from Paul Pierce, Gilbert Arenas, the response from Luol Deng, which I think he handled it very classy in his response at a time where vitriol would have been understood? He really responded with more understanding, patience, and kind of did more so to bring the awareness. Him and Win Gabriel, I love how when they talked about it publicly, as far as, bringing the game of basketball to South Sudan, this thing, wanting to bring awareness. Like, you have people that are 7 feet tall in South Sudan who don't even know what basketball is. So, like, they're playing for something more meaningful than just however far they make it in the Olympics. But then we're able to pull out a win over Puerto Rico today. Who wants to take this one away first?
I didn't hear the Gilbert Arenas and Paul Pierce comments. I'm new to this.
Oh, really? It was
wild, bro.
It was wild, man. I don't feel comfortable saying it, but basically he basically said that that they're barefoot, they didn't even have sneakers, they don't make their own, they come from the US. It was a lot of xenophobic comments, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. And Gilbert has said a lot of wild shit in his time, but even me listening to that, I was like, Gil, bro, this is bad, man.
Man, let me go look this up real quick. Give it a
Yeah, man. I'll just be real. That shit wasn't it. I think that's the best way to say it. That shit wasn't it. He was basically like, he was like, they're barefooted African. Like, he was saying a lot of crazy shit.
He said, Joel Embiid, go get your cousins or something like that. He said,
yes, he literally said, Joel Embiid, go and get your cousins. It was
I'll read a little bit of it here. Let me stop being prude. He says this is from Gilbert Arenas, ZZ. We almost lost to the Ahi Ahi tribe. This is crazy. Embiid over there throwing the game for his cousins and shit. Bruh.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, he said the quality of life of South Sudan, saying they get their shoes from America and that they don't even have basketball rims. They're shooting on peach baskets in dirt.
Man, come on, Gil. Now, I know Gilbert Arenas has said on numerous occasions, take what he says, he's trolling half the time. But look, you can't – I hate when people say that shit because, like, it's like Ryan Garcia saying that shit, right? It's just like, dude, you can say you're trolling, but that does not give you the leeway to just go out of the fuck bounds and say whatever the hell you want to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's levels to it. In the case of Gilbert Arenas on this platform, on Player's Choice at one point in the last 12 months or so, was being called underrated, which his career was, right? He was I heard people talking about how he was at his peak and all of this shit. And I was like, all right, let's not overrate the man, but let's give him his props for what he did in the league. Outside of the league, it seems like every time I see a Gilbert Arenas clip of him talking about basketball, it makes me genuinely wonder how the hell he managed to make it to the NBA with that level of knowledge about the game, knowing that he was one of the best scorers for an extended period of time, for a little bit of time throughout the 2000s. So I'm sitting there saying, yo, you got to know, like, what's the word, Hayes? Public decency. Like, you got to know something. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You can't just be out here just throwing out the most slanderous of xenophobe. Like, bro, come on now. And I get, it's some people like to people were making fun of South Sudan during the game in the comments, but
Yeah.
those same comments shifted by the time people started to realize, okay, they're playing their asses off in this game and not missing shots. Like you got G League point guards playing like it's the NBA Finals and shit is crazy. And then you had forget old boy who went 6 of 12 from 3 and did not miss. I'm like, you gotta, and then you hear the commentators during the game, you know what I'm saying, like saying how much of an amazing accomplishment it is for them to even be up on Team USA at any particular point in the game. Like, you got to look at it and you just got to give credit where it's due and not look at it and say, well, shit, Team USA just lost to a bunch. I'm not even going to repeat. Like, yo, you can't do that. You cannot do that. What the hell?
And this is and the unfortunate part about it for Gills, it's a few things. Gills already admitted to he doesn't really watch games like that. Like he said that plenty of times as well on his platform. But then this isn't the first xenophobic thing that Gilbert Arenas has said. Like he basically over times has said things like, "Oh, everybody, all the European players, send them back over to Europe." Like it's just it's a trend now with your behavior that it's just like. I get it that he's trolling. I get that he says that he's trolling, but like some point you just gotta shut the hell up, man. That's just what it comes down to.
Yeah. Okay, that's absolutely crazy. Joel Embiid's cousins is just crazy work.
That's crazy work. But like I said, I want to focus this more less on. Shout out to look at Gifted.
We
had double Gifted there for a second. What's up, Gifted?
Yeah, my camera was a little bit cooked, but we got to the bottom of things. Yeah, that Gilbert shit's crazy, but you can keep going, Hayes.
But so I wanted to get into the positive side of it. Today, South Sudan, 90-79 victory over Puerto Rico. Carlik Jones, ZZ alluded to it just a couple minutes ago. Like, this is a G League point guard, former G League MVP that has not played good when he's gotten NBA minutes, but he internationally, he's cooking.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Him and that cricket hairline, they over there balling. So, Carlik Jones is playing well. But yeah, just shout out to South Sudan for getting this Olympic victory. Like I said earlier, they're the youngest country in the world, and they got their first Olympic victory, man. So shout out to them, even amongst the drama. But I know we talked a lot about Gil. He's since apologized. Him and Paul Pierce have both apologized. But Gifted, how do you feel about Luol Deng's response as the coach of South Sudan to Gil's comments? I think he handled it very classy.
I think that's the best response because, again, it's so easy to be like, I hate you, you're this, you're that, you're that. But I think responding in that way just does nothing but make Gilbert look even worse. It makes him look even more dumb for saying things the way that he said it. And I think for them, they're focused on moving on. Because, again, it's not like this is a game that just, happened and like they're in the Olympics fighting for their lives right now. So it's like you don't want to say things that basically would take away from the team and put them in fire. The positivity and rallying everyone up should be the primary focus. And I think he showed a high level of maturity in how he addressed it. I thought that was very, very good.
I agree.
Yeah.
Completely
Yeah.
agree with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any last thoughts on that before we move on?
Shout out Luol.
Amen. Shout out to him. They're hooping.
Definitely.
And I mean, that's what I love about the Olympics. There's no other time where I'm more patriotic than when it comes down to overseas basketball, because this is direct competition with all of these other groups. And I'm telling you, there's competition. Okay. Mm-hmm. The shit that I saw France do, like, man, listen, Victor had like 19 points in the first half and was God.
Bro, watching Wemby was special, bro. Like it's something about what he got it. That's the perfect way to put it. Like
he got it. Yeah, like he was, and like, I'm sorry, but I saw a clip where someone tried to score in the paint, right? Gobert blocks them. Then the ball winds up on a corner 3-point shooter on the same possession, and then Wemby blocks their 3. I'm like, all right, bro. It's just so much size and length, man. It's crazy.
It's just he's different.
Look out for Canada to maybe be a sleeper in this tournament as well. Man.
Oh,
Canada looks good,
bro. Hey, Shea, have you seen Shea?
Yes.
Listen, Shea's my preseason favorite to win MVP. This
I ain't even mad at you, bro.
I like it. I want him to win this year. He was my pick this year. But I said that during the USA and Canada game, and it was mainly because they had pulled up a graphic of just how many players from the NBA are on Canada, and it made me take a second look. I'm like, hold on now.
They got a lot of
Yeah,
NBA
RJ,
talent, man. That's a real
Dylan
team.
Brooks, and you got
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks on the team where he can literally be Dylan Brooks and just there is no repercussions for it. I saw the video and it was like, who's be the first person to get a technical foul? Everybody, including Dylan Brooks, said Dylan Brooks. So it's like, like they got that identity, they got that swag, they got they got the whole thing going on over there. SGA leading the charge with RJ Barrett. I think he had like 21, 23 the other night. I was like, yo, they look good. All right. They look dangerous. They look like a team that you should not sleep on just because, it's Canada and Canada been taking L's all fucking year. But don't sleep on them, bro. They gonna avenge. They gonna spin for Drake. I bet you they gonna spin for Drake. I bet you. All the times they play not like us after the game, they about to spin for that boy.
Listen, if they make the gold medal game, they need to come out to not like us. I'm just saying, just for a full circle moment, you might as well.
Nah, that'd be crazy, bro.
But yeah, the Olympics has been really fun so far. Like I've watched all the games but one I didn't get to catch because I just refused to wake up that early to watch that game. But it's been a lot of quality basketball. Australia's been looking really good. Josh Giddey's been playing amazingly for them. I got a little dog in that race.
Josh Giddey's been good.
Bro,
Yes,
Josh Giddey has been balling, bro. Like, we'll see. Hopefully, he can launch off to that to help the Bulls some because we need every bit that we can get so far. But Olympic basketball has been really good so far, man. But next up, I want to talk about. We don't usually this late into free agency. It's not usually a lot of signings that I think can drastically help a team. But one happened yesterday that I can't lie to you. Tyus Jones going to the Phoenix Suns.
Was it 6.6 million a year?
6.6 million
for 1 year.
I cannot wait to talk about this, Hayes. I cannot wait.
And I'm coming straight to you. Gifted. Can Tyus Jones be, I'm gonna use one of your terms, can he be more than just a variance player for the Phoenix Suns?
Yes, absolutely. Because the thing that he gives to the Phoenix Suns is a guy who can legitimately play make and get good looks, especially on a floor with Kevin Durant, right? I think this is a great value signing. What I hate is that he wound up on the Suns because the Suns are going to have the balls to do what they should do. They're not going to bench Bradley Beal. Let's be honest, right? Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Tyus Jones with Kevin Durant and maybe Nurkic. If I see that lineup, is that not food everywhere? At every position, not named KD. That's awful, right? Like, they shouldn't do that. It makes sense to me to have Bradley Beal be their backup guard, who is the offensive guy off of their bench, which can kill backup units. I think that makes a ton of sense. But with how much money they're paying him, I just don't think they're going to do that. I think logically it makes the most sense. But what they're going to probably do is have Tyus as their backup guard. The problem I have with the Phoenix Suns is great signing, right? Like, he's going to make their offense probably better. But defensively, they might have got worse because Tyus is also not a good defender. Like, who is their wing stopper on this team still for back-to-back years? I pray for KD because that shit going to – and like, it sounds like they might want to entertain starting a three-guard lineup. I'm a Warriors fan. Our three-guard lineups are better defensively than that shit. That's bad. Yeah. That's very bad. So like – I just wish he went to a better team. Like, why couldn't Tyus Jones sign to the Sixers as a backup guard or something? Wouldn't that?
Well, I actually have the team that I think he would have been perfect for. I was one of the things that they want to talk about is teams that he could have worked out better for. I honestly think Tyus Jones on the Miami Heat would have ate.
Oh, the Heat! He's such a Heat player.
He would have.
Bro, he would have ate on the Heat, bro. Like that
would have been great.
But I have an interesting stat here, Zizi, before you go that I want to get into this. So I wanted to say just to look at just how much this really could help the Phoenix Suns. And I know we look at Tyus Jones. He doesn't really average a great number of assists, right? Last year, 6 assists per game, I think he averaged. But the more interesting stat is the creation aspect of it. Tyus Jones is in the 90th percentile as far as open shots generated for his teammates. There are only 2 players in the NBA that create more open looks for teammates than Tyus Jones. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Luka Doncic.
I know it was Luka. I knew Luka was at top of that.
So
that's crazy.
Tyus could theoretically, I get, and I completely agree with what Gifted is the point that he's making on defensively. They could be cooked, but they could be looking at that and saying offensively with Tyus Jones, if he comes in and he doesn't need a bunch of shots to be effective offensively either. He can facilitate really well. Does this raise their ceiling potentially so much as a more formidable offense that they're willing to take the defensive potential liability there?
Oh man, that is such a great question to me, because again, I do think Tyus is a great sign. I don't want anyone to think that I am up here marginalizing the signing. That's a big signing because again, Tyus Jones is a guy that was the best backup guard in Memphis, goes to DC for 1 year with a very, 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 very bad roster, and now he's a minimum player, which is crazy. I feel bad for him on that, but he is a very good NBA talent, and I do feel like the offense is going to be a lot better because there's so many times where we saw the Suns not look organized offensively. He in a structure, by the way, with Bud, who to me is a great coach in terms of scheming a offensive system, right? Tyus is going to look great. I just feel like there's levels to that greatness when you're that bad defensively. Like, it's one thing to have him in a role where he's got at least a wing, but I'm telling you, if he's next to Bradley Beal and Devin Booker at all, that team is like, I don't care what the numbers might tell you or might overall suggest. When you're playing the best of the best in the West with those lineups, you're going to bleed a ton of value. And at that point, it becomes, well, can we just flat out outscore the other team? We have not seen teams go that far in the playoffs without having at least a top 10 defense. So that's why I feel iffy about it. But again, it's a great signing. I think that does elevate where they will finish in the regular season. He's that good.
Yeah, he's really and it's honestly surprising he was still available this late in the free agency because it's not like Tyus Jones he doesn't really have major injury concerns or anything like that. Like, it's really surprising. Go ahead, Zizi.
No, I was just gonna say it's a W signing. I thought it was a W signing off rip. My question that immediately popped into my head is, what does the lineup look like? Because originally I'm thinking it's 1 year, and I made the mistake earlier. I said 6.6. That was Russ's deal. This is 3.3 million. So to get the fact that bro had to rot in Memphis against his will, right, with none of the leaders being able to be healthy enough for play consistently.
By the way, Chad, he meant DC. He's not shitting on Memphis. He meant to say DC.
Oh, yeah, DC. My bad. Being that he was rotting away in purgatory in Washington, D.C. with Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma and the crew, you sit back and you say, okay, what did Phoenix need? We said it all year last year. They need a point guard. Not, ooh, we have Bradley Beal. Nigga, I said a point guard, not Bradley Beal. So that's the thing that always annoyed me with the Suns. Even after they got swept, and what was it, Matt Ishbia, whatever their owner's name was, came out to, we're fine. Kevin Durant loves it here. Don't speak for Kevin Durant. You know damn well if Kevin Durant if shit start getting murky, shaky, or not making
sense, out of there.
He's out of there, and you probably won't even hear from him from the time that shit got murky to the time that he left. You probably won't hear from Kevin Durant because nah. So what they did was they said, all right, let's go get Tyus Jones. Now, to Gifted's point about Bradley Beal coming off the bench, I don't know Gifted because he is the highest paid player yearly on the team, if I'm not mistaken. So what
politics,
do you do with that?
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's the politics. Now that sucks. That freaking sucks. Now you're stuck wondering, all right, if we bring Tyus off the bench, that's cool, right? Who do the Suns have off the bench? Off the top of my head, Drew Eubanks, is Okogie still there? I think, or Torrey Craig, one of the two. I think Josh Okogie might still be there.
I'm pulling the roster real quick.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
Yeah, go ahead, pull up the roster.
So Phoenix Suns bench: Tyus Jones, Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, Mason Plumlee.
Okay, you know what? Tyus and Grayson Allen, I like that. I like that shooting. You get defense from Grayson Allen, cool. Yeah. Right. Mason Plumlee isn't like god awful, but you know it's something. It's cool.
Right? Okogie's still there too. Josh
and Okogie's still there. Okogie's one of those what gets to say variance.
Bro, Josh Okogie is their second best defensive player, bro.
Exactly.
That's actually pretty.
If you zoom out, look at the roster. He's literally their second best player. You cannot name someone better than him outside of KD. You can't. I'm being so serious when I say that. That's why it's like, what is this team? You're telling me Josh Okogie, who is a variance player, the definition of one, is your second best defender. That's crazy to me.
Ryan Dunn, their rookie, may pass him up this year. Just FYI. Yeah, he may pass him up this year.
Amen.
So yeah, that's my thing. I think it's a great pickup. There's nothing wrong with the pickup at all in terms of what they might have needed to fill a certain gap. But like Gifted said, or like Hayes said, what you're willing to have now with Tyus Jones there, are you willing to, and what the offense could look like with him in certain rotations with certain or lineups with certain guys, are you willing to sacrifice that defensively? Does this move the needle for the Phoenix Suns? Yes, but how far does that needle move is the next question. Does it move them to the second round? Does it move them to even a win in the first round? I don't know. It depends on the matchup, more than likely. If this team matches back up with Minnesota, they're losing. If they match back up with Oklahoma, if they match up with Oklahoma City, they're losing. Dallas, don't even get me started on that shit. They would mollywop them. Luka would have a field day with that. Oh, y'all got Tyus? Watch this step back three in your mouth. What are you talking about? So I think that it moves the needle for them in terms of what they might have needed in a facilitator role. But overall, like Get to say, what is this team, bro? What are we looking at? I don't know.
I'm sorry, but I'm talking about a guy that when it matters probably can't play more than 20 minutes a game and he's their second best defender. Like they don't have a wing. They don't have a wing in a conference that has LeBron James, KD, like I just don't know what the answers are. I would understand if this was like the third move where they got way more talent to fit those areas. And then on top of it, okay, Tyus, boom. But it's like it's really just Tyus. And I'm sorry, I might be a hater. Again, I don't know. But to have Tyus Jones with Grayson Allen, like their backcourts are just not built to play great defense. They're just not.
I turned it off when we started, and then I just kept getting harder. Hotter.
I think he's meant to be muted there.
My bad. I had to turn the fucking fan off. It's hot as hell in here.
Hey,
I
bro,
see you sweating. Yeah,
I feel you,
it.
man. I like the Tyus makes so much sense for them. Just and who he is as a player. The lineups are going to be wonky. The lineups are going to be interesting to see how they figure it out. But I mean, the thing is, like what we've seen, like role players matter. They make a big difference, and so they'll have some time to kind of figure out their rotations the best way. Maybe they'll have some flexibility to maybe add something, a veteran at the minimum or something, if they want to make a move at the trade deadline. But I love the addition of Tyus Jones, but now it's like, okay, that's a good step. But you got Tyus, you got Grayson, and I guess you're hoping that Ryan Dunn steps up for you in his rookie year, because like Royce O'Neal, he's a bit cooked. I mean, we just like Royce O'Neal's one of those players that like once every 10 games, like, hey, Royce O'Neal's balling, and he disappears for 15 games.
Yeah, once every 10 games, Royce O'Neal will knock down like 3 corner threes and get a steal, and motherfuckers be like, hey, this is the guy. This is their Iguodala. like what are we, bro? I don't know. I feel bad though. Let me ask y'all this question. If shit gets shaky, right? Say, because like it said, maybe this could, because the Suns are like a 48, 49 win team last year. They were close to 50 wins. The only issue with them was just mainly fourth quarter execution and figuring out who the hell the facilitator was and defense. But for me, I'm going to ask y'all this question. How long does it take for either Kevin Durant, because Bradley Beal ain't got no trade clause, how long is it going to take for Kevin Durant or Devin Booker, to one of them, maybe both, to end up on the trading block?
A year?
I'm with you on
that.
Year.
I'll say as soon as this next offseason that it could definitely happen depending on how this season goes.
If they don't get out the first round again.
Because of how, with that salary as well that they have, they are going to have to look to move something eventually if they can't get out the first round.
Yeah. And you got to think too, if you're Kevin Durant, that would mean that because in the last 4 years, you have been swept twice in the first round for 2 different teams that people looked at one point and said, damn, it's you and Kyrie, isn't it? It's you and Devin Booker, isn't it? And then the Suns literally beat the Timberwolves 4 straight times in regular season series, just to get swept in the playoffs. And I remember on From the Logo, people were talking about, how the regular season series is going to play a part in the prediction of that first round. And I was like, no, because when you have a Minnesota team that's consistently been at the top of the league in defense, you don't think that they're going to figure out a way to game plan against the team that did beat them 4 times in the regular season, but they know for a fact if they apply the right defensive schemes, get the right guys uncomfortable, double team Kevin Durant. I heard Kevin Durant was great passing out of a double team. I ain't seen that in 3 years. But the Minnesota Timberwolves put every amount of defensive pressure they could on not only Kevin Durant, but Devin Booker, and then you saw them fall from within. So my question is, if that shit happens again, and say they lose in like 5, KD's still up out of there. I don't think he's going to stick around for that, because there isn't. I talked to y'all before about championship windows for certain teams who went and made big moves to get certain players, and how championship window, if it was closed before you got that star player, it's open now, but the room for it to close very rapidly is still there, because if you have a guy in Kevin Durant who's 35, right, you're banking on a 35-year-old Kevin Durant, even guys like Kawhi and guys like Jimmy Butler, who are only getting older, but that championship window keeps getting closer and closer to closing, and you as the front officer sit stuck wondering what exactly you're going to do with it. The Phoenix Suns, the fact that Matt Ishbia went out there and what's his name, James Jones sat out there and was talking about, yeah, we good over here. Even though we just got swept, everything's fine in Phoenix. What are you talking about? Like, if I'm Kevin Durant, I'd have slapped the shit out of you for saying that. Like, what?
Yeah.
Hey, we'll see if they can figure it out, man. We got a couple of rumors I want to get into. One involving Gifted's team and the Golden State Warriors. But before we get into those, let's talk about the title topic today. We pushed it off far enough. TNT, NBA, ESPN, Disney, like this whole thing has just been so interesting to watch from the outset, right? Because like we found out the NBA, WNBA, they got offered a deal in the billions. I think it's $77 billion is total on the deal for the NBA over an 11-year contract. The day after that, we got word that TNT was trying to match that they were planning to match the deal. They submitted their match, which a lot of people had hope that meant inside the NBA and everything was going to stay on. In less than 12 hours after that, the NBA basically looked at TNT's match and said, yeah, no, we good. And decided to still go with the deal from Amazon. And now TNT has officially started a legal procedure because they felt that the NBA is in breach of contract. Who wants to take this whole kind of this saga? Who wants to take this one away first?
Hayes, it's a lot, man.
Yeah,
I saw these tweets in real time. I'm like, okay, they match. Cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're still going with the Amazon offer. Oh, wow. TNT is threatening to sue. Oh, they are suing.
They are suing.
It's like, okay, like that is a lot. I'm not gonna lie though, it makes sense. I gotta be real honest with you. People that wanted to stay on TNT are not saying that because of the quality of TNT per se,
It's the
but
attachment.
mainly because the inside the NBA. Let's be honest. If you could get inside the NBA on Amazon, y'all wouldn't care.
Yeah,
That's like a lot of, right? I feel like what makes more sense for the availability of the sport elsewhere is actually Amazon. I'm not going to lie to you. You can find an Amazon stream a lot easier than you can a TNT stream, because as someone that has no need for cable, I have YouTube or whatever, so I don't have cable. I cannot watch a TNT game. But as someone who's an avid watcher of Amazon content on Prime Video, I have a Prime subscription, right? I get 2-day shipping, right? Like that's millions of people, especially in our demographic, right? So now they can just watch NBA games. I think that makes a ton of sense, especially when it's a requirement for the WNBA as well. So now you have both of these sports under the Amazon umbrella. That just makes a lot of sense, and there's real value in that. To me, like, I understand the whole inside the NBA stuff, but I think also with this coming back to NBC as well, I think we might get back to actually analyzing the game at a higher level. I think TNT was more so like fun, enjoyment, but you wasn't really learning much about basketball watching that show all the time.
It was more about the characters than like you said, the teaching the game. And I think Gift, I love all your points there. Like once Amazon decided that they were about to go full into sports, both with the NFL, now with the NBA, and they got, well, I think tennis as well as some over on Amazon. Amazon has more money than just about anybody. The only other people that can make an offer that big is Apple, basically. Once Amazon makes an offer, you kind of go with it. And to your highlight your point even more, for example, my uncle, shout out to my Uncle Steve, by the way. I told him I'll give him a shout out. I was going to use him on the show for this topic. He heard this. He was like, nephew, how am I supposed to watch the games? I said, Unc, you don't order from Amazon? He said, yeah. I said, do you have the free Prime shipping? I said, do you know how much stuff he doesn't even pay attention to Prime Video, bro. Like, so there's going to be so many people that just have access to this just because they have Amazon that is going to help grow the game. And this just makes more sense for in the streaming world. This makes more sense for it. But I got a wrinkle, ZZ, before we turn it over to you. This was stated that Amazon is willing to make an offer to the crew of inside the NBA. The only problem is Ernie's not leaving TNT.
Yeah,
how you feel overall about it?
That's what I was about to say. Is at the end of the day, like Gifted said, it's not a bad idea. It makes sense when you look at all of the intangibles within the deal. But what it did tell me was that inside the NBA is over. It is, because I thought back to Ernie always said he was a TNT guy for life. And that was since the early 90s. So we're talking about a situation where you have Ernie saying that, you have Charles saying that next year will be his last, you have Shaq not knowing what's going on half the time, and Kenny's there. So it's a matter of it just being, like Gifted said, pure entertainment. We didn't go to inside the NBA for all of the analytic side of things. It's part of the reason why people shit on ESPN all the damn time and FS1, right? You went to inside the NBA for Chuck, for Shaq, for Ernie, for Kenny, for that group of guys, because at the end of the day, the segments like who he play for, right, where Charles Barkley is literally telling you, I'm a casual to a certain extent. About all, I don't know everything.
It's clear, Chuck. It's clear. We see.
And it's clear.
Yeah.
And we love you for it. We love you for it, Chuck. Shaq is the same way. Shaq, you have Chuck not knowing who a player is. You have Shaq not knowing how good a player is, or just completely shitting on anybody, a 4-time defensive player of the year, whatever. Ox, you know what it is, bro.
I guess this is a good time. Hold on. This is a good time. I know we're in the middle of something.
This is a good little segue, yeah.
Hey, make sure you guys show up to the PCL, the NBA Debate League, man. We are very well represented over and from the logo. I took on Chill, held my own. Dion, I'm coming for you next week. But nonetheless, we got Mars and ZZ going down today. We got MTEL and Pirate, and then Swiper and Gifted going down as well today. From the logo will be very well represented, man. You guys excited, man?
Definitely. I am excited. I love the way it's formatted too, because it's like you gotta lock in. Like there are no crazy interruptions, timer, all that stuff. Who has the better points, right? Yeah. How can you convey those to the chat? I like that.
No, and for me, I told you last week, Hayes. I know I'm going into hell itself, right? With me matching up with Mars. I knew, I said Ron knew what he was doing. But like I said before, anytime I've done anything where it's a debate or whatever, I don't talk a lot beforehand, because at the end of the day, all of my talking points are going to be made up of 1 minute and 30 seconds for 3 different rounds. So y'all have plenty of time to hear me talk about how good Klay Thompson is or how good something else is. I'm not going to spoil all of it for you, but just know that when PC gives ZZ Ancho the call, there's a reason. They know that I'm gonna bring that entertainment factor. Mars said that I was the Pistons of the debate league. It'd be a damn shame if that Piston won today. That's all I'm gonna say. Because
the Pistons did beat some good teams last year. So
shit, Mars, that would mean that Mars would pull off the biggest disappointment in PC history. Goddamn. But hey, we'll see what. But Lord knows I'm ready for this shit. I've been waiting 3 years for this. Moving forward, I cannot wait to see Gifted and Swiper. That is
I'm not gonna lie to you. Hey, Gifted got numbers out. Like that's why he's smiling now. Gifted, I guarantee you, Gifted got all his like. I can't wait. It's gonna be masterful, bro. Gifted is gonna be. It's like the technicality of watching Eminem break down. Like it's just that's the way that you can expect Gifted to be tonight. So y'all make sure, man. And then like I said, I'll talk my stuff next week because Dion from Ohio got a different beast coming for him. Is all I can say. So
the craziest part to me about all of it was Ox. I know you be on a panel when Mars be, when they let Mars off the leash a little bit. But my thing is just like, I remember when they first did the grouping on the panel, I was watching it live. Mars was like, "How is this group fair? Who's in my group?" I'm like, Mars, stop acting like you don't know me. That's the thing that's the thing that's gonna fuck you up the most when you act like you don't know me and then you gotta
Don't
find
underrate your
thought
opponent.
I was. I love that though. I love that. But please, God, don't play with me. Please. Because I will pack your shit up immediately. I will roll you in a blunt and smoke you equivocally. Please don't play with me.
It's gonna definitely be fun. Y'all make sure y'all turn into the PCL league, man. But to get back on this topic with TNT and whatnot, I know you're about to make a point, ZZ, before I cut it off to do the promo. Go ahead, brother.
All I was saying was at the end of the day, I had a thought that, it was over once I realized that they were talking about TNT needing to match. Now, I read Charles Barkley's statement, and Chuck is Chuck, you want to talk about like betrayed, disappointed?
He gonna have a Hall of Fame year next year.
Yeah,
Oh man, listen,
I'm gonna be tuning in for sure next year because
I'm gonna miss an episode.
They gonna take
bro.
it there. Yeah, nah, they gonna take it there.
They said, "Oh, all right, y'all needed us to match, and we did, and y'all still said, oh, okay, all right, bet y'all really don't rock with us like that. It's really crazy." But like I said, I thought it was going to be over with because of all of the little intangible pieces. Ernie not leaving TNT, Chuck saying it was his last year. Nobody really knows what Kenny's doing, so it's like, the writing's on the wall. It's kind of been there. Now, if Amazon's able to pick them up, or ESPN or whatever, I kind of hope it's not ESPN, because they're gonna water that down. Like they barely let Stephen A do his shit half the time, even though, so it's like, imagine Charles Barkley and Shaq over there cutting up. Like, I don't know, maybe it'll be more like feasible for it to be an Amazon product, but we'll see.
I got a question. We've seen a lot of like Skip Bayless having his own show, not Undisputed. Stephen A having his own show that he airs on YouTube because it came out too a little bit after this. So Charles Barkley, Shaq, and Kenny all still have over 4-year deals left with TNT, even after the contract expires. Could they turn it into their own YouTube type with same broadcast quality? Because it's not like they still can't make a lot of money if they were to try to keep inside the NBA around in some shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. Because Shaq already got his podcast. I would be interested. It's not like they don't have the creative intellect to even attempt to do something like that. So that wouldn't surprise me. But if Shaq and them are left with nothing, they're gonna make something out of that. That's how I see it. Because they know the masses want to hear from them. So they're going to figure out a way to make something. But I guess we'll just have to see, though. We'll just have to
see. Yeah, man. It's going to be fun to watch. I really do feel like even if they get offered, Ernie's not going to leave. And I don't think that they would bring back the same exact show without Ernie Johnson. Maybe two of the members might want to come back and run it back up, but if Ernie's not there, it's just not going to be the same show, so probably not. But honestly, I'm okay with that. They had a very long run. I appreciate that run, but I'm more curious as to what they do to replace that, right? Are they going to have more high-level basketball shows or talks? And more importantly, the biggest thing no one is talking about, TNT only had a couple of games during the season. Amazon has enough resources to put a lot of them shits on there, and that means a lot.
It could be unprecedented in how the East. I wonder what that's going to mean for NBA League. I'm a League Pass guy. I always get League Pass every year, but like, I wonder how much more is the value going to be just in having your Prime subscription with how many games they make available each night. That'll be interesting.
That's a great question. That's a great question. Yeah.
You got to think too. A lot of people were upset with the move itself, but I was like, yo, you got to think, we're moving into the streaming era. Cable TV is going to be none, right? In like 5 to 10
like tomorrow.
Like tomorrow. Like to the point where everything is changing so rapidly, and the league itself is looking at that and saying, how can we present our product the best and in the most variety of different ways? And in that case, it is streaming. My question for TNT is, what are you going to do going forward if this, because to be honest with you, I think it's between Law and Order, SVU, and like Inside the NBA for best TNT products. What are you going to do if one of them is gone? You going to just keep running Law and Order? Are you going AEW, nigga? Like, what are we doing? Like what is TNT going to become after this? Because I will say, I don't know the numbers, but I would assume that Inside the NBA was one of their highest viewed live programs. I would assume.
It might have been.
I'm interested to see what they do going forward.
I mean, they may double down more college basketball during the year, pick up more college basketball games.
True.
So,
you know, Law and Order reruns. All day.
Law and Order, and then that Vegas show, casino show, whatever it was, they had that too.
Yeah, Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas is a good show too, by the way. It got canceled too early. Any last thoughts on this Amazon whole TNT debacle before we get off this?
Nah, I can't wait to see what happens to it. I kind of wanted to respond real quick to this comment. Gift is saying Booker was food on defense, shows you clearly don't watch him. I think what this comment shows is you clearly don't listen. I never said he was food on defense in the game today. I said overall, the lineup featuring Booker, Bradley Beal, and Tyus Jones would be food on defense. And let's not act like because we saw Devin Booker buy into a role today and play good defense, that's been him his entire career. Defensively, he's been a weak link. He has moments where he's neutral. He has moments where he's awful. It fluctuates. So don't act like I'm shitting on him off of a Team USA game. No, the lineup of those three guards will get shit on in the Western Conference. It just will happen. That's what it is.
He was doing his thing today in a lineup of Drew Holiday, Steph Curry, LeBron, and Joel Embiid as like a blanket. But if you put him in a three-guard lineup with Tyus Jones and Bradley Beal
and Nurkic,
that's weird.
That's a different story. Now,
I mean, you got to act like we saw a couple of years ago. Zach LaVine was a defensive sleeve in international play. He's been barbecue chicken in the NBA. He had a defensive rating of 117. So it's a very different game. But I said we had a rumor around I wanted to address one too before we go. Said, if I'm the ESPN CEO, I offer Charles Barkley to join First Take, Stephen A. Shannon, give creative freemanage. First of all, you want Charles Barkley in a debate show and you think that that's good? We just said that Charles Barkley is basically, you want to see Chuck in a debate show? Bro, what are you smoking?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a wild take, my boy. That's a wild take.
Wild take.
Yeah, that's a wild take. But I want to come off that. The New York Post, actually, ZZ, has your team listed as one of the teams that could be interested in Cam Johnson. I know the Lory Markkanen thing, we've had some talk about it. What do you feel about Cam Johnson potentially if they do make a move for Cam instead of Lory Markkanen?
I've always been a fan of Cam Johnson, not going to lie. Like, I'm not going to sit and act like I hate him. But me and Gifted talked about this before, bro. It's to a point where we don't even want to hear anymore. We just don't want to hear, oh, they're looking for this guy. Oh, they're looking for this guy. If Lory doesn't work, then it's BI. If BI doesn't work, then it's Cam. Nigga, fuck it. All right? we got DeAnthony Melton so far, Kyle Anderson, and DeAnthony Melton. Did I say him already? DeAnthony Melton, Kyle Anderson, and Buddy Hield. Right? So if they go get Cam Johnson, that's just another role player that can shoot. I'm not gonna lie to you. Cam, I'm not high on Cam Johnson as a defender, but I don't think he's a negative. I'm at a point where I'm just like, dude, pick something. Go one direction. Figure it out. I'm tired of trying to come up with hypotheticals of Lory Markkanen and Steph in the same lineup and BI and Steph in the same lineup or BI and Draymond in the same. You know what I'm tired of that shit. Just give me something. All right, if we're going to rock with Buddy Hield and Kyle Anderson and DeAnthony Melton, then that might mean that Steve Kerr could be on the hot seat this year because while they aren't Lory Markkanen, you have role players now. You have an abundance of role players. Just play the right role players, right? Don't pull a Corey Joseph over Moses Moody with any of these guys. Don't do that. Figure it out and figure out how you can best make the best lineup around Steph or around Draymond or what have you. But don't just stop throwing all these damn names out there that just get worse and worse. We went from Lory to BI to Cam Johnson. Nigga, what are we doing? Like, what happened up here? Why can't we get up here?
He's a career 39% three-point shooter. I mean,
we'll take that. We'll take that along with Buddy Hield. Like I said, we'll take it. But give me something. Damn, please.
Gifted.
Gifted, how you feel, bro?
They broke him. Hey, listen, the Warriors have broken Gifted this offseason, bro. I've seen Gifted go from being excited about potential deals to the Buddy Hill. Like, this has been a roller coaster of an emotional offseason for one Gifted, man.
So we go from Paul George talks back to Lory Markkanen, who I thought wasn't going to be gettable, to we believe Jonathan Kuminga and Pods can be all-stars, so we don't want to trade them, to we're going to sign Buddy Hield and Kyle Anderson, and now they're talking about getting Cam Johnson from the Brooklyn Nets, who want first-round picks back. If we trade first-round picks for Cam Johnson but not Lory Markkanen, I'm like, I might have to end it all. Because, like, Cam Johnson is an okay role player. Like, he's cool.
Yeah, he's
but
solid.
This team needs way more than an okay role player. I'm not giving the ball to Cam Johnson and say, hey, go average 19 points efficiently on this team. I'm not asking Cam to do that. Right. I'm asking Cam to, okay, give me 9 points on good defense. Cool. Like, I just... Like, the amount of non-needle moving moves we've been involved in is so crazy to me, bro. How many non-needle mover trades can you make? And they keep doubling back with shit. They keep doing
it. Maybe they hope that the sum of the non-needle moving moves helps move the needle. Okay, just for a count, because I don't disagree with either one of you. Just for the counter argument for it. Is there anything to be said about Steve Kerr as a coach maybe getting more out of these players than what they've done on their teams prior? If they were to get a Cam, is there any like a Cam Johnson who has averaged 16 points per game in 2022-23? Is there anything to be said that maybe under Steve Kerr he can figure out a way to use these guys where they have a bigger impact under him than what they've had under other?
I'm not gonna lie, Steve Kerr is a variance coach. I'm gonna just say
coach.
it. He's a variance coach. Like, you dead ass don't know what to expect. One night, that's a very good defensive line to be put in there. That's great. Another night, you have 4 non-spacers with Steph. You're playing two-way players over lottery picks. Like, I don't know what to expect. The only thing I can look forward to if we make no trades for this season is just seeing the development of Kuminga and Pod, because I do think they can be very good players. All-star to me. I kind of got to see how Kuminga's shot changes, but he scored very effectively post All-Star break. When he finally got the opportunity, he was scoring well. He has flaws in his game, but he has potential. But none of this shit mean nothing if you don't have a reliable secondary scoring option, right? Like, I have to rely on Andrew Wiggins becoming 2022 Andrew Wiggins without Klay Thompson on the floor.
And here's my thing too. My thing about that is Gifted just reminded me that we still have Andrew Wiggins on this team, who is supposed to be in his prime. So
he could be the key to making these trades work. So there you go.
You damn right, Hayes. You damn right. And you want to know something? He better be the key to making these trades work. If there's any bodies moving, he better be the first one up out of here, because the fact that they ended up letting Klay go and kept Wiggins and still haven't done anything with him, when last season he showed us nothing at all besides the same thing that he showed us the previous year, which was nothing at all. So it's a matter of, you're getting older, you're 27, you're 28, and you're still ass. The defense is a variance. In 2022 in the finals, your defense was on point for 6 straight games. Even in the postseason, your defense was consistent. And your 3-ball was also relatively consistent, and your free throw wasn't that bad. But the fact is, the years that have went on in 2023 season and 2024 season, it's like Wiggins just got worse, or it's like he played less, or it's like, damn, is he still on this team? And if so, what is his purpose now? Is it defense? Is it slashing ability, transit? What is it, right? So that's the thing too that annoys me, is that we still have players that we're still struggling to figure out. But if I'm Steve Kerr, to hell with Andrew Wiggins at this point. You had multiple years in Minnesota. We gave you your breakout, reemergence year. We're done. Jonathan Kuminga, like Gifted said, I'm looking to see if he has a more consistent 3-point shot next year. From this year, it looked like he developed more consistent mid-range shot and was able to still be a transition bucket getter, right? I'm looking to see the growth of that. I'm looking to see the growth of Pods. I'm looking to see the growth of TJD. I'm looking to see the growth of Kuminga, Pods, Moody, and TJD. 4 names over Andrew Wiggins. I can give a damn about Wiggins at this point. And going into the year 2025, I can give a damn. I could give a single damn about Andrew Wiggins at this particular moment in time. All he is now to the Warriors is trade bait and potential trade value. That's it. That's all he is. Because at this stage in his career, I got mad when people kept flaming Clay, even in 2023, when the year that he shot 41% from 3 on 11 attempts. But whatever. People were flaming Clay that year in the beginning portions of the season, but not throwing that same, even a smidge of shade at Andrew or slander at Andrew Wiggins, who was supposed to be in his prime. But instead they choose to throw the slander on a 33, 34-year-old Klay Thompson coming off of 2 of the worst injuries you could possibly have, and not at a guy that's supposed to be in his prime, that for some reason gets worse from the free throw line year by year, that for some reason gets worse from 3, even though you thought he was on the come up, and then he just plummeted right to the bottom. So all of my issues with Andrew Wiggins, there are players like Andrew Wiggins that I try to give the benefit of the doubt to, and have done so in the last 5 years or so. Another player like that is D'Angelo Russell for me, right? Where you're just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but you see that it's just not working because it's not sustainable. For example, if I was a Lakers fan, I'd be like, get D'Lo up out of here, because back-to-back postseasons, all of that great shooting in the regular season didn't mean shit because he couldn't knock down a goddamn rock in the ocean, right? He couldn't do any of that. So players like D'Lo, players like Andrew Wiggins are in the same category for me, where it's like you can give them the benefit of the doubt, or people have tried to give them the benefit of the doubt at portions of their career. But Andrew Wiggins is about to be 29. He's not even 30 yet. This is the type of player that he is. So move him while you still can before this nigga gets worse. That's all I'm saying. Just move him. Get him going. If we got to go back to Minnesota, I can give a fuck. Take him to Detroit, Shanghai Sharks. I don't care.
I could offer you guys one lightly used Zach LaVine.
And you know what?
Man. Nah, way easy.
No. After what season just went off on a lightly used Zach LaVine. Go ahead.
No, this is not me. Listen, hang on. Let me make sure my mic is right in front of me. This is not a shot at Hayes in any way, shape, or form. What I'm about to say. If we didn't want to trade Chris Paul straight up for Zach LaVine,
that's crazy, bro.
There's no way they go band for band and go back to get Zach LaVine again. Yeah. I think they just gave up on him as an asset, which is, but again, that's like they find ways to put pressure on themselves so crazy, because they came out and said, okay, their goal is to maintain cap flexibility and get a guy who they can rely on. That's quite literally Lory Markkanen. We don't want to trade Pods or Kuminga. We're just gonna throw you Moses fucking Moody, who we played 2-way players over for 2 seasons straight, and lightly protected picks. Like, this shit is not real. I'm living in a simulation, bro. Like, what is this?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Once it came out that the Bulls tried to get Zach LaVine to Golden State for Chris Paul, and the Golden State Warriors like, hey,
I'm like,
we good. I was like, yeah, Zach LaVine ain't leaving this season, bro. We're stuck with him, bro. There's no way. Like, that's other than Ben Simmons, that was literally the bottom of the barrel that you could possibly do.
Bottom of the barrel, bro. Chris Paul straight up for Zach LaVine.
Straight up for Zach LaVine. No picks, no nothing, bro. When I read that, I was like, oh man, we cooked. It's done. It's done.
That's crazy, bro. He's really not that bad of a player. This shit is crazy.
So, it's funny enough, right? And I try not to bring up Bulls topics here because everybody knows I'm the Chicago Bulls guy. It is what it is, right? Like, question, taking away last season, because he only played 25 games last season. There have only been 9 players in the NBA to score more points than Zach LaVine since 2019.
He was down there 50, 40, 90 a couple
years
ago.
And that's why people acting like he's terrible. He's not. I get it. The contract is absolutely terrible. Can somebody take him? Can somebody please take him?
Well, it's crazy too. It's crazy.
We couldn't get Chris Paul straight up. That's crazy, bro.
He might get traded mid-season if he balls out, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe.
For sure. Yeah.
At this point, there's been 2 times in Zach LaVine's career where I have said, please, somebody save him. And it was in Minnesota and ironically Chicago. Like, how did it end up? I did not think it was going to be Chicago. I thought him going to Chicago, I was like, hey, fresh start, right? Like, the last athletic point guard they have was MVP Rose. So yeah, fresh start. with a 3-point shot.
And to the credit, the first 3 years were great. People were rocking and rolling. We were excited about it. I don't know when it turned because I'm not against Zach LaVine guy. I honestly think if you put him, I think him and Josh Giddey could actually look okay together. Like I'm not saying amazing, but okay. As Josh Giddey is a solid playmaker, but like if for some reason the fans in Chicago turned on Zach, it was like they woke up one day and said, "Hey, that light skinned motherfucker, we don't like him for real." And it was just like, what happened?
Yeah. Shit is crazy, bro.
Yeah, man, it's wild, bro. Like yeah, it is what it is, man. But Lauri Markkanen came up before we go. Last topic for today. Lauri Markkanen recently came up, and it's been reported that the OKC Thunder are a team that could be interested in Lauri Markkanen. I don't see how this works. I don't see what combination of players that they do. I don't get me wrong. We know that the OKC Thunder could trade for anybody. They have the assets to trade for anybody. But when you look at, they got Lou Dort there. They added Alex Caruso this season. They added Isaiah Hartenstein. Like, why Lauri on a team that already has Chet? And it doesn't make sense to me. But maybe you guys see it different.
This shit's so fake, bro. Like I'm getting tight the more and more because I was saying at the start of the season they should trade for Lauri Markkanen. I said at the deadline, yo, you literally have Bertans expiring, which was $18 million. People, guess how much Lauri Markkanen was making? $18 million. They could have did it at the deadline. Then free agency starts. Oh, no. Okay, see, they're not interested. Now we about to be in August. Oh, yeah, by the way, like, honestly, Lory could do wonders for our team. I hate this shit. It just feels so fake to me. All that being said, you do it. I mean, I understand the questions of the fit, but Chet and Lory as a front court with Isaiah as a backup is great. My thing is, it would have to be like a heavily pick incentivized type of deal, and OKC has those picks. Like the picks would be what moves Utah. I also read earlier that apparently the Jazz owner does not want to pay Lory that big extension either. So time is ticking right now. We're gonna see exactly what happens. Because if they don't, and he walks for nothing, they look like clowns.
Yeah,
that's a fact. But matching the $20 million in Lauri Markkanen's contract, that's where it gets into like they have, of course, the money that they can match, but it's like, what is it going to be? Kenrick Williams, Cason Wallace, and Filler to get it done.
Yeah, Cason Wallace would be in the deal for sure, but like it would be bro. It might be like 4 first-round picks and 4 pick swaps, which is insane.
That would be,
and that might be enough to get it done.
Lauri Markkanen, that would be crazy.
And the thing is, OKC can do it. Like they have the assets to do it and still be better off. They probably don't want to have to do that if they don't have to. But I'm telling you, Danny Ainge isn't going for that. I think Danny Ainge is a crash out. He would rather not do anything and lose him for nothing if he can get 4 picks out of you, bro. I really think he's down to crash out, bro.
He's a crash out.
I think Danny Ainge is a crash out. You can clip that, whatever. Danny Ainge is looking at you. You are a crash out. You crashed out so badly, the Celtics moved on. You moved on because you wasn't getting nothing done. No deals are being made. Oh, all these draft picks, no deals are made. He leaves, what happens? Moves are made. Oh, we got Drew Holiday now. Oh, we got Porzingis now. You're not making no moves. Granted, I give him credit because he flipped Gobert and Donovan for a shit ton. That was crazy.
A shit ton.
Gobert went for more picks than KD. That's hilarious. So I give him credit, but Jesus Christ, it's like he needs to fleece you and then beat you upside the head with some picks. Like it's crazy, bro.
Danny Ainge is literally like the equivalent of like hitting the plug up for the pack. You get the pack and then you rob him back. Like
yes. He be trying to spin back, bro. Yes, he be trying to spin back. Crazy. I agree. Yes. It's crazy.
Oh man, that's hilarious. But it's so
crash
accurate,
out business, man. Like, golly,
D1 crash out. D1 crash out. That's crazy.
D1,
please.
First string crash out, bro.
That was funny.
Oh man, that's hilarious, man. And that's probably going to be the deal that ends up getting done too. I would not be surprised to see Lauri Markkanen. Honestly, Lauri Markkanen on a team with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, it would be fun as hell to watch. I'm not gonna lie to you,
bro. Lory, Chet, and Shai with Jay. That is
crazy.
Tough. That's a tough ass unit.
Conference finals contenders off rip. Straight
I
up.
mean, shit, if they make that move, we got to be talking about finals or bust at that point, in my opinion, bro.
Yeah. Look, and here's the thing, Hayes. Eventually, we're gonna get to that point and it's gonna be for a different multitude of reasons. One, either you got all these damn assets still, and if they don't even make it to the conference finals, then your questions are gonna be, okay, what are we doing here? You might want to use something. And then if they were to say that this trade were to go through, like you said, it would be eventually they're gonna get to not just conference finals or bust, but finals or bust. And then after that, then those uncomfortable conversations that they had before Giannis won and before Jokic won, and still for Joel Embiid, those conversations are going to be had for SGA and the crew, Chet included, Sam Presti, right, Coach Mark D, and all of them. They're going to be like, all right, y'all have been together for a little bit. Now let's start making some noise. Let's figure out how we can get y'all into some good relevancy. But, we'll see. We'll see,
man. But damn, I'm so sick of hearing about this shit. It's the
Crash
28th, bro. I'm just trying to wait to the 6th so I can officially just either crash out or just move on. Fuck. Like I just, bro. No,
the delayed crash out from Gifted is hilarious, bro.
Bro, every day I have not gone a day without hearing Lory fucking Markkanen, bro. Like I'm starting to hate the nigga, and he's very good at basketball. I love Lory, but to hear him I have been on the Lory Markkanen bandwagon since last offseason, and I've been watching this shit since last offseason, and his name has popped up more from the playoffs to now than the entire season. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Man.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Very last topic, and the reason I say this one for last because I do not expect us to all have a lot to say about this one. ESPN is working on a documentary over the 2020 bubble. Do we care?
Honestly, yes. No, yeah, okay. I care a lot. Yes, I do want to see it because there's a lot of bubble stories that I find very interesting. I think it's wild to know that you have people in the playoffs, and then after you lose a playoff game, you sitting right in the lobby with the niggas that just gamed you in your face.
That's a fact. Yeah,
I want to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. The Jimmy Butler and the Rachel Nichols rumors. I want to hear about that if that's in there. The Donovan Mitchell, Taylor Rooks rumors. Want to hear about that if that's in there. There's just a lot of things with the bubble. Also, if we can get insight on the Clippers team in terms of their mood during the bubble before blowing 3-1, I think there could be some cool things. I do like that.
I think that
go ahead, Zizi, my bad.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think that there's a reason that I knew they were gonna do it back then because I was like, the times that we're living in will be documented, right? Basketball at the time, I was like, for the league shutting down and then getting back up and whatever. Yeah, they gonna document this shit. Now, mind you, I said that season that I thought the Lakers were the best team before COVID even really hit us. I was like, they were rolling up until that point. A lot of people said after the bubble happened, oh, the Lakers only won because it was the bubble. What? That Lakers team is the best Lakers team that they have had in the last 4 to 5 years. That 2020 bubble team is better than the 2021 team, 2022, 2023, and 2024, probably combined. But that team checked off all boxes, every box that they needed. They needed rebounders, defenders, veteran point guards like Rondo and shit. They need shooters. Everything was covered for them around LeBron and AD. So I'm interested to see that dynamic. Like Gifted said, I did not know about I forgot about the Donovan Mitchell Taylor Rooks thing. I ain't gonna lie to you. But the Jimmy and the Rachel thing, for sure. For sure. We got to hear about that. And I want to see if how many plays Jimmy was really making with that coffee. I ain't gonna lie. Because Jimmy was really hustling back then.
I dead ass think he was getting a bag off that for real. I don't think that's a joke at all. Yeah. Because after the bubble, he made it into a actual brand that he owns. Like it's real. So
and just as an aside, the last time DeMar DeRozan had a side baby was the year the bubble happened.
Oh wow, I forgot about that.
Put that out there. I'm just gonna put that. I'm not saying that it happened at the bubble, but I'm just saying it was the timeline tracks is all I'm saying.
Oh crap! You know what? Hayes actually just jogged my memory. I forgot all about this. The dude that played for Houston got kicked out the bubble because he was doing shit.
I forgot about that completely. Yeah,
you remember that? You remember that? Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of storyline. Of course, when I heard a bubble documentary, my mind went right to the Lakers title. But yeah, there's so many storylines going around that bubble here. That's probably would be a fun documentary to watch.
I want to hear the interview. I want them to like pan the camera to Jamal and Donovan to talk about that playoff series that might have been the greatest playoff series I never thought that I would see. Between them, the motherfuckers just dropping 50 and 50 back to back and in the same game. And I'm just sitting, I'm like, yo, that was Jamal Murray's breakout party in the bubble, was that round against Donovan. And that was the round for Mitch. We were like, all right, we know
that was great basketball too.
He legit, like he that was phenomenal basketball. I mean, back and forth basketball. Like crazy work. I'm ready to see that.
Logical Raptors fan says Disney isn't going to tell how. I think you may need to go check out some of Disney's document. The documentary side of Disney actually gets pretty deep. By the way, they just released Deadpool versus Wolverine, was fucking bananas.
Watched that last night,
bro.
I watched that too. That was great. That was good.
Amazing. Well, guys, you got anything left? If not, man, that's the episode for today.
Yeah. I guess I'll follow up on the Deadpool thing. I thought that was a good movie. I like watching it. Very adult, very rated R. I think the opening weekend it was 438.8 million box office, which is crazy for a rated R movie. They really marketed it well, and I find it crazy because I think they focused on making a good movie. Because I left it saying I have no feeling in me to watch any more Marvel movies, but that shit was fire. And that's kind of where I'm at. I heard that they're bringing back Iron Man. Basically, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Doom.
He's playing Doom. Yeah.
It feels like they're reaching hard as hell to get back relevance, but I will be watching that movie, so they got me. You know.
But it's been back and forth if he's going to be Tony Stark as Dr. Doom, or if he's just playing Victor Von Doom. Which
okay.
It'll be interesting.
Victor Von Doom, I'll be pissed. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I think it's an alternate reality Tony Stark. I believe
that's the rumor, but we'll see.
Yeah. In that case, then they would have to make it make sense. You can't do the shit that Fast and Furious was doing, where you got niggas dying in 2004 and then coming back to life in 2023. How the fuck does that happen? How many kids
I had to drive harder?
Fast and Furious said, "Jump the shark. We're jumping the whale, my boy. Don't even worry about it.
We jumping the moon, my boy."
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I like the movie. It was phenomenal. The one thing that I always love about the Deadpool movies in comparison to any other MCU movie is that they make fun of all of the shit that Marvel has done wrong since 2008. They have made fun of all of it in each of the Deadpool movies. When you talk about like fourth wall breaks and just Ryan Reynolds being the perfect actor for Deadpool, it was perfect. It was funny. I mean, it was funny.
Yeah. It was an amazing movie. Definitely an amazing movie, man. So, but great times, man, overall. And if they're not, go ahead and give me your social medias, man. Let's get up out of here.
Yeah. Well, feel free to follow me here at Get the Hoops. All my links are below. Tonight I will be doing a debate against Swiper on the PCL, so tap in there. Things should be fun. ZZ also has a debate coming up tonight as well, so hopefully we represent tonight, ZZ.
Yeah, we're gonna represent just like we represent right now. Leonardo, if shit is like watching paint dry,
but he's here. That's you got.
You're here,
bro.
Let me just say this. For all of y'all, little niblets out there, little
niblets
that love getting in the chat and just saying any and everything. This shit sucks. Why are we? But you're still watching every single time we pop up. Brandon Katz, we just had this discussion with Brandon Katz. For you to be having the most comments in the live chat, but be complaining about the show you're watching, if I'm watching something that I have a lot of complaints about, I don't know how smart it would be to give the host of the show
waited to the
money
end.
in their pocket. You waited an hour and 20 minutes to tell me that you love watching paint dry. What the fuck is wrong with you? Get up out of here. Go back to the rest of your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and leave us alone, all right? Because that shit is crazy work. How y'all will sit and just, this is terrible. But I'm watching. I'm here. All hour and 80 minutes, I'm here. Attentive as hell. You might as well raise your hand and call me the teacher. Because, are you here? Because, goddamn, like,
the teacher.
You're not going nowhere. You're not going nowhere. You're going to be here on Tuesday. You're going to be here on Thursday. And then right back on Sunday. So if you want to watch paint dry, come watch the best paint of all time and from the logo or whatever you want to call it. Otherwise, stop complaining and bitching. That's the problem. That's the problem with this country. That's the problem with the internet. Y'all bitch too much. Y'all bitch way too much, and that's a problem.
Woo.
So get that shit straight before, you end up bitching again the next episode. So it is what it is. Free all these people that you ain't even watching their own personal channels. What are you talking about? You're talking about free Doug, free J. Go watch them niggas. Why are you watching us? Why? What sense does that make, Leonardo?
That is
What
hilarious,
are you talking
man.
about?
I mean, listen,
gonna-
he's talking about watching paint dry, but I guarantee you, we'd paint your mama. Love you guys, man. Make sure you guys check out From the Logo every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, man. We love you guys. Peace out.
Like, there's no way.